Anger isn't what you think. Hump Day Newsletter, February 26th, 2026. I was incensed. As their words leaked through the phone line, I felt my body stiffen, my chest tighten, and my head lighten. I became a caged panther, pacing back and forth in my living room. I felt the volume growl in my throat before the words ever tore through my lips. Once the dam broke, angry words flushed through me like a clogged toilet that had just been freed of its giant pile of shit. As we close out the month of love, prepare to join me on a wild year of the horse gallop into the world of anger. The first time I addressed the conceptual feeling of anger in my life, rather my adept skill of sidestepping the emotion like a frog dodging hot rods in a game of Frogger, was back in 2019. I was venting over a complex emotional matter, and when asked if I allowed myself to feel angry, I instantaneously responded with, I'm afraid if I let myself feel the anger, it will consume all of me. The person counseling me paused and in a simple exhale responded with, what if I told you it already was? Well, shit. They were right. I was using a crazy amount of energy to shove those super bad feelings down, septic level deep. The thing is, if we don't allow ourselves to feel it as a mild indicator, anger will fester, spoil, and rot, eventually turning into rage and resentment. Resentment will ooze out of us in ugly ways that invite shame to join the party. Oh, and rage? Oh, rage. Rage will eventually explode, leaving us and everyone in our wake covered in shit like the toilet stall in Trainspotting. I will put the link in the show notes and you can view that at your own risk because it is disgusting. But if it's felt early, anger in its pure form is a beautiful indicator of something that has simply bumped against your boundaries or deepest values. Anger is not hatred. It's not punishment. It's not aggression. It's a sign that something isn't right. When used appropriately, anger can save your life. I feel like anger is one of the most misunderstood and underappreciated feelings on the feeling scale. It's kind of like being a caregiver. I became so invested in anger this week that I decided to create a 4-part series dedicated to the emotion using my calm framework. Pause for applause. That did not go as planned. Yay! So for the calm framework, the first letter we have is our C, and this week we will chat about your caregiving style. Don't forget to take the caregiving archetype quiz. I will put that link in the notes as well. And we'll talk about what coping with anger might look like for you. The letter A. Next week I'm diving into awareness, recognizing anger before it leads to resentment and ultimately burnout. Our L. Week 3 is our listening week. What is your anger trying to tell you? What other emotions help amplify or hide our anger? Yep, guilt, shame, and gratitude, they're all supporting characters. And finally, our letter M. Week 4 will bring us home into movement. How do we navigate anger without taking it out on the people around us? What steps can we take to begin establishing healthy boundaries? If you haven't already taken the caregiving archetype quiz, pause now, take it, and come back. It's a super quick quiz, it's fun, and it's developed by moi. So when I tried to think about how coping with anger might show up in the different archetypes, my first thought was that they're maybe little difference at all. Why? Because we're all taught so early on in life that anger is bad. As toddlers, we may drop to the floor of the grocery store sobbing because we aren't allowed to touch anything, which is opposing our natural instinct to be curious and explore. And we're yanked up by the arm and told to be quiet and keep our hands to ourselves. We scream out loud when a sibling takes our toy, and we're told to be quiet and share. But it was my doll. It was mine. I didn't want to share. As teenagers, slammed doors, eye rolls, and deep sighs are all grounds for punishment. Instead of exploring the feelings that led to these behaviors, punishments led us to hide them, suppress them, and declare these feelings bad. As grown-ups who may or may not have learned to feel our emotions, and it's never too late to start, coping with anger can still show up in nuanced ways. For the desert tortoises like me, I imagine we just tuck that shit up under our hard shell. Feeling unsafe to express or even feel our anger, it most likely will reveal itself through our trademark hissing and snapping, also known as resentment. I imagine the meerkats openly expressing their discord, but left misdirected, it can blow through the gang like a wildfire, leaving everyone in a state of rage. The ostrich? Oh, my beloved ostriches. Your anger might not simmer the same way, but when it does boil to the surface, I imagine it creates an even deeper desire to step away or create a firmer boundary. The barn owls with their small, intimate teams, I envision your anger poking up its head, but maybe you create some space to sit with it and nurture it while your partner steps into the primary caregiver role. And because I'm curious to learn more about my archetypes, I created a confidential Google form for you to fill out with 4 easy multiple choice questions. What's your caregiving archetype? Where do you feel anger in your body? What were you taught about anger growing up? And what do you usually do when you feel angry? I will share the results in next week's newsletter. And don't worry, no names will be revealed. It's just going to be statistics, no personal information. And I will put the link to the anger and archetype survey in the show notes. Now remember, just because we're feeling angry, that doesn't mean we can't also feel love. Because it's all about love.